I'm David Skander.
I'm Justice Burkett.
And today we're here to find out if Rob Zombie's Halloween is the greatest movie ever made.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch.
Welcome to the greatest movie ever made, the show where we watch a movie, dig through the ditches, burn through the witches, and tell you if it's the greatest movie ever made.
David, what if I crawl over there and skull fuck you? What would you think about that?
I would say, I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch.
My number one complaint, let's just check this one off the list right away. Number one complaint about Rob Zombie's Halloween. Not enough Ken Foree. I knew Ken Foree was going to be in it. Mm-hmm. He's in most of Rob Zombie's films. The audacity of Rob Zombie to be like, I'll give you Ken Foree because you're expecting him in, it's one of my movies. But he's only going to be in the movie for like 2.5 minutes. I was like, fuck you.
Testament to Ken Foree, though. Best scene in the movie.
True. And honestly, one of the best performances in the movie. He has so little time.
You know what I love about Ken Foree?
Everything. But
yeah,
yes,
mostly.
What specifically?
It's like 70% that he was in the original Dawn of the Dead.
Sure.
Maybe like 10% that he's in From Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And then the remaining 20% is that I can point at the screen and go, that's Ken Foree.
Yeah.
Every time I see him.
I like him for the same reasons as you, but I would throw in there, he's also in my favorite Rob Zombie film. And perhaps... stay tuned, dear listener, to find out if this is the case or not. But before watching this film, Lords of Salem was the only Rob Zombie film that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if that changed.
Okay.
I guess we'll see.
Interesting.
Oh, I'm just trying not to tip my... And, I got to leave the listeners in suspense.
I was sort of thinking we would just come out the
Yeah.
gate and, like, I would just ask you up front, but let's introduce the show.
Yeah.
A movie that is so thoroughly entertaining or compelling the while you're watching, and it's the only thing that matters in the world.
The only thing that matters in Haddonfield, Illinois.
I'm David Skander, joined as always by my co-host and Hellbilly, Justice Burkett.
Yeah. I had been led to believe that this was Hellbilly Halloween.
This was more Hellbilly?
And, I honestly was like, I was expecting more Hellbillies.
It's really like that first 20 minutes that
it's really just Bill Forsyth.
It just kind of kicks you in the nuts.
Bill Forsyth is really the Hellbilly in this movie.
Right.
And honestly, less of him than I was expecting. When we introduced Hellbilly's stepdad from Hell, Bill Forsyth, that's the guy you want to get to do it. Mm-hmm. Rob Zombie's good at getting the guy. And welcome back to the show once again, Bill Forsyth.
He just keeps popping up.
That's what he does.
Yep.
like a fucking groundhog.
I think I begrudgingly have to add this just while we're here.
To movies with a lot of guys.
A lot of guys.
There are a lot of guys in this movie.
There are so many guys.
It's a Rob Zombie movie. So like Bill Moseley's in it, Ken Foree's in it. It's fucking what's his putz?
Let me give you the list, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Off the dome.
Dourif's in it.
Yes. Ken Foree.
Yeah.
Brad Dourif.
Yeah.
Bill Forsyth. Bill Moseley, depending on the version that you watch.
Yeah. Oh,
Udo
I
Kier.
watched theatrical and he was in it. Is he not in the director's cut?
He's not in the director's cut.
How dare Rob Zombie cut his dear friend Bill Moseley out of the director's cut of this film?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Udo Kier, Clint
Yes.
Howard, Sybil Danning, Danielle Harris.
Yeah. Clint Howard, by the way, is the guy who I was thinking of when I said what's his putz.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sid Haig, of course.
Yeah. Well, you would almost have to.
We also got Richard Lynch, Danny Trejo, and a little baby Skylar Gazondo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not enough Trejo either. Not enough
Nope.
Foree. Not enough Trejo. Certainly not enough Moseley.
Oh,
I guess
Daniel
zero
Roebuck's in
Moseley
here
in the fucking
too.
director's
He's got a
cut.
credit. Daniel Roebuck's a guy that's in movies.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie
Yeah.
became a rock star.
Sure. That's what he's mainly known for.
And he took that money and funded his own movies.
Mm-hmm.
And, there was he's got the rock star money, so he can get all of his favorite character actors from his favorite horror movies.
Right.
And then get a bunch of probably expensive needle drops from 70s and 80s rock bands.
Yes.
And then just kind of build a script around that.
Sure. And, to varying degrees of success. Mostly low.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we talked about it on Lords of Salem, but like Rob Zombie, I've seen several of this man's films now. And Lords of Salem is looking more and more like an accident to me now. where I'm like, it is so weird that I love that movie so much, considering how I feel about literally every other Rob Zombie film that I've seen.
Lords of Salem.
Yeah.
Which I was much...
Yeah, you didn't like it as much as I did.
I was mixed on it. I think I liked it overall, but I was mixed on it.
Yeah.
It is Rob Zombie showing restraint.
Yes. And also, I think notably, Lords of Salem is an experimental film.
Yes, it's headier and it's weirder
It's
than
psychedelic, it's bizarre.
his Firefly family stuff than
Yes.
this.
Yes. And watching this movie, I could not help but think, Rob Zombie is the wrong person to make a slasher movie. Which sounds weird to say about a guy named Rob Zombie, who dresses like he... is the CEO of Spirit Halloween, it's weird that guy's not the right guy to make a slasher movie, but he really isn't. Like, he is a better experimental art house filmmaker than he is a B-movie, slasher movie, grindhouse filmmaker. He has tried both things, and in the experimental, psychedelic, weird, heady lane, he succeeds, and in the trashy lane, he somehow fails.
Right.
Which is very odd.
We had talked about this probably privately, but comparing him to Jim Van Bebber, who directed Deadbeat at Dawn.
Right.
What Van Bebber did with Deadbeat at Dawn and then The Manson Family, which you and I watched together, he's kind of doing what Rob Zombie thinks he's doing.
Yes. He's successfully synthesizing like B-movie and grindhouse low-budget elements into something that is elevated above the form.
Right. With how shocking and abrasive and DIY those movies are, it kind of takes those elements of grindhouse filmmaking and elevates them to like high art.
Yes.
And Rob Zombie, for all of his his proclivities as a horror director and the movies that he loves and the actors he's able to bring together and his ideas, rarely gets to that level.
Yeah. And instead of when he leans into his like low budget B horror movie influences, when he tries to make Last House on the Left, he sucks at it. When he leans into his other big influence, who you can see through nods in his films, including this one, which is one David Keith Lynch, in Lords of Salem, it works. He is a better student of Lynch than he is a student of, like, Wes Craven.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Or
it's
Tobe
weird.
Hooper or whatever.
Yeah. And there's the reason I say there's a Lynch reference in this film, I don't know if you caught it, it's Sheri Moon Zombie in her decrepit but also somehow very large house in Haddonfield, Illinois, that looks like it's like the Texas Chainsaw Murder Cabin. She has a framed picture of the Radiator Lady on her TV stand.
Oh,
yeah.
I noticed that picture. I didn't realize it was the Radiator Lady.
I am like 97% sure
Although
it's the Radiator Lady.
I was like expecting some reference in the background of that shot when I was watching it, and I was like, I think it just happened, and I was like, oh, I bet you someone's in a picture somewhere.
There is something that I do. There is a certain ballsiness that I think you only get from Rob Zombie to include a reference to Eraserhead in his 2007 Hellbilly Halloween remake. It is like a move that I don't think many other filmmakers would do.
Well, the other side of that coin is he does a Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake in this.
Yeah.
Which is the grab from behind, dragging into the house.
Yeah. And also the baseball bat to the head and then the cut to the feet twitching.
Right.
And he repeats a shot from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it is 80% less effective in this movie. Yeah.
Boy. Okay,
Anyway.
we'll just pump the brakes.
Yeah, we got to pause.
Check-in time.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm okay. I have had some weird and bad days this week, but I think today I'm all right. I'm leveling out, I think.
Cool. That's good.
It's just been like a weird mixed bag of like, I feel like every day in the last 2 weeks I have either been so busy that it is like a problem where I'm like, oh, there's not enough hours in the day for all the shit I have to do, or I have been like doing literally absolutely nothing and feeling guilty about sitting around on my lazy ass.
Yep.
I have had like there has been no in between.
That's the dichotomy.
Yeah. And it's like it has been making me feel weird, but I think I'm like okay today. Today I actually had a good balance between work and not work. And in terms of things to recommend, you may be aware of this already. I somehow was not. I guess this has been a thing on the internet for about a decade, and it just like went under my radar until this past week. Are you aware of Chipmunks on 16 speed?
Yes.
I love Chipmunks on 16 speed. I listened to so dear listener, if you are not aware of Chipmunks on 16 speed, someone bought a turntable that you can turn down to 16 speed. They used to make those for like books on vinyl or like spoken word vinyl that had to have like that didn't have to have as high audio fidelity as music. And so you could turn your turntable to like 16 RPM. And but you could play music vinyls on 16 RPM and it would just be really slow. Some visionary purchased some Alvin and the Chipmunks records and recorded them played at 16 RPM on their turntable. And what emerged from that, because obviously Alvin and the Chipmunks, the way that they recorded that is they had guys sing really slow. They had guys sing the songs really slow, and then they sped up the vocals to make them high-pitched and sound like chipmunks, but also to match the pace of the instrumentals, right? And so what you get when you play it slow is you get normal-pitched human voices singing slowed-down versions of whatever song they're covering, to what can only be described as like sludgy doom metal goth rock instrumentation, because all the instrumentals are like slowed down and pitched down because they've been slowed. And I can only describe the Chipmunks on 16 speed release that is like internet title is Sludgefest. I believe Volume 1.
Yeah, I think they have two records.
I listened to them both, but Volume 1 is really where you want to be. I listened to it and I was like, this is a goth rock masterpiece. This is some of the best post-punk that has ever been created. And it was created sort of by accident. But I'm like, you could put this side by side with like any Killing Joke record, any fucking Bauhaus record, any, Echo and the Bunnymen. And this is like standing toe to toe with like some of the best goth rock of the 80s. It's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I heard about it a little while ago, and I saved the album on my Bandcamp to come back to later.
Yeah.
And then I listened to probably just like the songs that I knew one day while out on a walk. And my reaction was more so, yep, that's definitely the Chipmunks slowed down. More so than I was, because I heard it's like, oh yeah, it sounds like doom metal or goth rock or something. Then I didn't really have that reaction to it, but it was a little while since I've listened to it, so maybe I'll go back to that.
You should really go back to specifically, and dear listener, my main recommendation for you, listen to all of Chipmunks on 16 Speed Volume 1, but if you're only going to listen to one song, please listen to Walk Like an Egyptian. Their cover of Walk Like an Egyptian, slowed down, sounds fucking insane. And for you, David, that's the one that I would say, please go back to Walk Like an Egyptian by Chipmunks on 16 Speed, because it's crazy. There is like a crushing like wall of sound that happens when they finish each chorus, and like the instrumental kicks in, and it's like so crazy. So yeah, that's my media recommendation. I feel like I had something else, but I can't remember it. So I guess it's just Chipmunks on 16 Speed.
Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Yesterday was kind of tough, but yesterday was good, and then I got So I worked in that other post office in northern Arizona that needs help. That's not in our city, and I have been getting like kind of sly implications from the supervisors that I am taking too long.
Yeah.
Without them just coming out and saying like, "Hey, you're taking too long."
Right. Which, like, if you got a complaint, fucking just tell me.
Just tell me.
Yeah.
And we can talk about it.
Yeah.
And that happened again yesterday. And like yesterday, I felt like I did pretty well. I had a couple of mistakes, but I was pacing myself. And when you hit 6 hours, they automatically take 30 minutes out for your lunch. Mm-hmm. So if you work 6 hours, you might as well just take a lunch, because otherwise you're working for free.
Right.
So I work through my lunch to finish, and then I'm going to take lunch at the end of the day.
Right.
So I start the day at 7:30. I finish delivering the route at like 3:15. And I'm like, cool, great. I'm going to sit for 30 minutes, take a lunch, and then go back. And I'm sitting taking my lunch, and the postmaster rolls up in his truck and just kind of gestures, and he says, "Hey, you done?" I said, "Yeah, I finished. I'm taking a lunch." And he says, "All right." And he drives off. And then I get back, and there's another supervisor there, and she says, she asks how I was doing, and I said, "I'm good. How are you?" And she's like, "Good. Waiting for you. Did you have any trouble today?" And I was like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, well, that route's supposed to take normally 4 hours or whatever. I've heard 4, I've heard 5, I've heard 6.
Yeah.
From different people." And I'm just like, I don't know what you want me to do other than drive unsafely.
Right.
And like,
well, and also it's like, bitch, like, you got this job this year. Like, what, they expect
this
you
is
to
like
be...
my fourth or fifth time doing it.
Yeah.
The first time the mail was out of order because of the machine, and I was like fucking lost.
Yeah.
Now I don't know it like the back of my hand, but I know it better.
You're familiar. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not trying to slack off. Like, no, I'm really not. I'm trying to do it.
Fucking around. You're just doing it at the pace that you are able to do it at.
And when I've pushed myself in the past, I have worked too hard and started physically feeling sick, feeling dehydrated, tired, and I just don't know what to do. And I'm like, I texted my trainer, my on-the-job trainer, who's a carrier. She's not a supervisor. She just trains the new folks.
Yeah. And
the idea is you can kind of be a resource even after the training is completed. I texted her today, and I was just like, I don't know what to fucking do. So she gave me some advice. I'm just going to keep trying my best. And if someone makes a stink out of it, then... It's weird because I don't get pressure from Flagstaff about taking too long.
Yeah.
I've been putting that pressure on myself and worried about that, but no one has come up to me and made any sort of implication that I'm taking too long. But
I would say the vibe of Flagstaff as a town compared to the vibe of this other place is a little bit more like laid back and understanding.
Well, and it's also, it's a bigger office and in Flag, and you can blend in a little bit more and not get the heat consistently from the same person, unless you're just like a giant fuck up.
Right.
But here it's like the office is barely bigger than the size of my living room.
Yeah.
Because it's a very small town.
Yeah.
So you can't really escape it. And they were weird to begin with.
Yeah.
I didn't vibe with their like the supervisors' personalities over there. The other carriers that I met have been very nice, but I don't really know them, and I don't know their names. They've given me a little bit of help, but mostly I've been doing this on my own.
Right.
I don't know, man. And just those. It was literally those two comments from those two people. Other than being tired at the end of the day, but I felt like I had done a good job.
Yeah.
That just fucking pissed me the fuck off last night.
Yeah.
So I'm still watching war movies. So I was saving Come and See for a tough day.
It was so crazy when I went on Letterboxd last night and saw that you had watched Come and See, followed by a couple of episodes of Steven Seagal's fucking crime drama series that we've been talking about. I was like, wow.
And then today,
Nobody is doing it like this, man.
I watched Rob Zombie's Halloween, the theatrical cut, which I rented from a free trial on Amazon site.
Yes.
And then I watched the director's cut, which I picked up from a secondhand store today because it was only on. It was just that disc. It didn't have the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only person in human history to watch those movies in that order.
Yes.
And I think I have unlocked some sort of like seventh seal to awaken the apocalypse. Some dark force has entered this world through a portal or a gate.
Yeah, I do think you've achieved a new level of just guy who watches movies. I feel like you were like already at like, you were like a moderate to high, XP level, but now you've like become like a wizard of movies because you watched Come and See, 2 episodes of Steven Seagal's fucking, CSI ripoff, and then Rob Zombie's Halloween twice back to back.
That Steven Seagal show's getting worse, by the way.
Oh man,
It's really like starting to drag.
you're telling me it's getting worse?
So much B-roll. It's just so many shots of Seattle
Yeah.
that he uses over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Also, a staggering amount of sexual harassment in the show that is played for jokes. It is like just like, workplace sexual harassment. It's just like, and the girl will give like a snappy comeback with kind of a wink.
Yeah.
And it is rough.
Weird sex stuff that is tonally wrong. Maybe something we're going to be talking about with this movie too. I know something about the director's cut that I didn't watch that you will definitely be bringing
Oh boy.
up.
Yeah.
But even without that, just weird sex stuff in this movie.
Watching Come and See again.
Yeah.
Fucking 5-star masterpiece. Also, maybe the greatest war movie ever made.
Yeah,
maybe
I need to see it.
Also just like deeply horrifying and affecting. And then my other recommendation is I bought a bunch of Nick Cave CDs, and I listened to The Good Son the other day, and I've just heard it the one time. But there's a song on it called The Weeping Song, and I always like when an artist names a song the blank song, and then says that in the song itself, like Elton John singing "You Can Tell Everybody This Is Your Song" in your song. Nick Cave takes it to an extra level though, where the chorus is, "This is the weeping song, a song in which to weep," and it
Fuck yeah, dude.
fucking bangs. I've had that song stuck in my head for like the last 3 days.
Someone in the music league that we participate in described Nick Cave as like when the only goth at your school is also the only theater kid at your school or something like that, and I was like, that is accurate.
Yep.
He does sort of have. He's got carny energy, which is a thing I like about him.
I mean,
I feel like that's what a goth theater kid is a carny, Because it's like, yeah, you're like a scuzzy, like gutter person, but also you like to perform,
I think Nick Cave has kind of adopts the aesthetic of a scuzzy gutter person.
Sure.
Compared to someone like Tom Waits, who is actually a scuzzy
gutter person.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
You're right. And of the two of them, I feel like Nick Cave would be more at home in a Rob Zombie movie than Tom Waits, because Tom Waits, he's got the actual cred, right? Whereas Rob Zombie, he merely adopted the Hellbilly. He's actually from New England.
Yeah.
He's a Massachusetts boy.
Yeah.
But it's like Tom Waits, it's like, who knows where that guy's from?
Yeah.
The
I was-
fucking butthole of Louisiana, probably.
I was watching this movie, and there's a lot of masks, and I was just sitting in my house alone, knowing that I had to watch this movie twice,
Yeah.
and I was just like, nobody cared who I was till I put on the mask. And Michael Myers' gay little paper mache masks.
Yeah, he does love arts and crafts.
That could have been a great career for him.
Yeah, just
Could've been
he's making masks. He's the
Just,
happy mask
you know,
salesman
it's
from
just-
Majora's Mask.
Maybe he's just like that. That could have been a path to his
Just
rehabilitation.
skating past my Legend of Zelda
I
reference.
haven't played Majora's
You
Mask.
haven't played Majora's Mask?
I probably played like 2 hours
You
of
fucking
it.
fake gamer.
I've played Wind Waker and Twilight Princess all the way through.
You play Ocarina of Time?
No, I played
You
a little. I played a little bit of it, but
Bitch.
no, I didn't have it as a kid until my brother. Like we got the GameCube disc
Wow.
that had both of them on it.
That's so
I didn't
crazy.
have it for 64.
That is so crazy because, like, you play video games and I do not.
Yeah.
But I would say Ocarina of Time is one of my foundational experiences with any form of media.
I'm sure I'm sure it's a great game. I've
It's
just
really
been
good.
playing Ghost Recon Wildlands for 140 hours, despite that game being not very good. And I keep trying the permadeath mode with the dumbass AI squad mates who don't do shit.
Yeah, maybe instead of that, you could take an adventure in the land of Hyrule. You don't have a Nintendo console.
I don't have one currently. No.
Yeah.
My brother has it.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yes. Robert Zombie, a film by Robert Zombie, starring his hot wife for 10 minutes.
And a bunch of character actors.
Yep.
And
And
Some
a
unknowns.
truly sinister looking child, which I do appreciate. I do like that young Michael Myers. I like that they cast a kid who kind of looks like the William Shatner mask. He's got a big forehead, this kid.
just what if Michael Myers was a little fat kid?
Yeah.
And then
he reminds me of the kid from
off-screen-
Hereditary a lot.
And then off screen over the course of like 15 years, he just gets fucking shredded.
He really hit a growth spurt, this kid. he must have woken up with so many like leg pains in his adolescence because he was just stretching the fuck out. He ends up being 7 feet tall.
So
Yeah.
we talked a little bit about Rob Zombie.
Yes.
Let's talk about this is Carpenter Copycats.
Yes.
So we got to talk about the original Halloween.
Certainly.
What really can you say about it? But
I can say one thing about it, David.
what's that?
I think it's very good.
I agree with that. I think it's a very good film.
I like that movie. I think one of the better slashers that anybody has made.
I think so too, but probably to a lesser degree than you do.
Yeah.
Because I feel like John Carpenter's movies often get better for me over time as my tastes evolve.
Sure. Yeah.
The first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh yeah, it's a good movie," and part of why that is I hadn't watched a ton of horror movies at the time, but your expectations for slasher movies, or at least mine,
Yeah.
are really shaped to be like more violent, gorier, more fast paced.
Yeah. That's not what
Tits,
we were doing in
sex.
the 70s.
That's not what he does in Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween is basically bloodless,
yeah.
very slow.
Yeah, for the
Very
like crazy
atmospheric.
kills and like the tits and everything, you got to wait until like the mid 80s for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's really when that stuff starts.
So the first time watching it, it's kind of tame compared to what I expect, compared to
Sure.
other slashers that I've seen.
Yeah.
And every time I've come back to it, it's gotten better. And now it's one of my favorite slashers. It's probably not one of my favorite movies of all time. Certainly not my favorite among my top Carpenter movies, but it's the upper, in the upper echelon of my Carpenter films.
I think it's number 2 for me. I think for Carpenter.
Yeah.
I think it's The Thing and then Halloween for me.
For me, I think it's The Thing, They Live, Big Trouble, and then Halloween.
Yeah. The nice thing about Carpenter's good movies is there's no way that anyone can order them that would make me mad. Because I'm like Like, just hearing you say They Live is number 2 for you, I'm like, yeah, They Live is so good, dude.
Yeah.
All of his good movies are so good.
They Live is a film with flaws that I do not care about.
Yeah, because Rowdy Piper is in that movie fucking being the fucking goat, dude.
Yeah, and that's maybe why I put it over Big Trouble, because like
Yeah.
I like Big Trouble's fucking excellent, but there's something there's something special about They Live for me.
Yeah. I think Big Trouble, just to say one more thing about that movie, is the movie where after watching it, I was like, I think John Carpenter is my favorite director. Because Big Trouble was maybe like the 5th Carpenter movie I had ever seen. And I it turned from a thing where I was like, I really like this guy. And then watching Big Trouble for the first time, I was like, I think this guy is the best director who's ever lived. I think he is unimpeachable.
But
yeah,
Big Trouble was one that I watched in high school, coming to it, and Escape from New York as well.
Yeah.
As like action, these are action masterpieces.
Yeah, and Big Trouble's more of a comedy
and
than an action movie.
And Big Trouble's silly, and I think I was like, yeah, that was a good movie, but it's not 2001.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm like, yeah, I think movie's pretty fucking perfect.
It owns.
And it doesn't matter that it's not directed by Stanley Kubrick or it's on the AFI top 100 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's great.
Dude, a Stanley Kubrick Big Trouble would suck shit.
Yeah. I mean, 100 takes of guys doing flips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody can capture
Big
Kurt
Trouble-
Russell eating a big sandwich driving a semi like John Carpenter.
Big Trouble in Little China. Big Trouble in Little China. Wow.
Big Trouble in Little China
Should never be remade.
No.
They've
No!
talked about it. They've
No.
talked about it. And look, I want Carpenter to get a check for his remakes as much as any other guy.
Yeah.
Big Trouble in Little China is a time capsule that can never be replicated.
I completely agree. It would be a fool's errand, much like the currently in production remake of Possession, which seems like a really bad idea.
We'll see. I mean, I'm interested.
Oh, I'll see it.
I am interested.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm necessarily looking forward to it.
I think it's going to be bad,
There's
probably.
people involved with it that I like, but hey,
Anyway.
But how about the fool's errand of
Remaking one of the best slashers of all time. Yeah, sure.
turning the Michael Myers. Well, first of all, it all starts really with Halloween 2 as far
Right.
as the mistakes for this franchise.
Sure, because a thing that Halloween 2, a movie that I like. I think that movie is okay. It introduces truly the biggest blight on this franchise. It is like patient zero for like bad slasher movie writing, because making Laurie Strode Michael Myers' baby sister is the worst fucking thing that has ever happened to the Halloween franchise. And it happened in the second one. And boy, oh boy, does Rob Zombie love that decision in Halloween 2. And he's like, what if I just make this the whole premise of my remake? Is Michael Myers love baby sister.
Right.
He want to find baby sister. He want to say, you baby, I big brother.
Yes. This is the only Halloween film other than Season of the Witch that does not have the original Carpenter film as part of its timeline.
Sure, yeah.
This is for all intents and purposes, an entirely different universe.
Yeah. And also Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Yes.
Yes. Because it's a sequel to this one.
Yes. Yeah. So the zombie films are kind of their own continuity.
Their own timeline.
Yeah. And there's various timelines throughout the franchise and different ways you can watch the movies.
Yep.
So I've been looking every week for like John Carpenter's comments about the remakes. And there's not a lot that I can find for the individual remakes other than like someone interviewing him about it, and they're like, "Yeah, they paid me."
Yeah, he's like, "I don't give a shit. I have NBA 2K to get back to."
When they did The Fog, he was like, "Yeah, maybe we can update it for a new audience, but they paid me, so that's all I care about."
Yeah.
I do have a couple of quotes about this remake. Zombie got Carpenter's blessing to do it.
Right.
Probably because Carpenter was getting paid.
Right. He was like, "Sir, may I have your blessing?" And John Carpenter was like, "What? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I can't hear you unless you have a checkbook in your hand and are writing my name on the pay to the order of line."
Add a few zeros to that, and I'll give you my fucking blessing. He encouraged Zombie to make the movie his own, which in some ways Rob Zombie definitely did.
I would say he certainly did do that.
But his Carpenter's reaction to the movie, he was kind of ambivalent about it.
Yeah.
It seemed like
John Carpenter ambivalent about something.
It seemed like
that doesn't sound like him.
It seemed like he and Zombie had a tenuous, like a conflicted relationship while this movie was being made.
Sure.
But they're on good terms. When he was being interviewed about the 2018 movie, which he was more involved with as a producer, creative consultant, did the soundtrack, he said his disagreement with Zombie's portrayal of Myers was basically, quote, "I thought that he took away the mystique of the story by explaining too much about Michael Myers.
Yep.
I don't care about that. He's supposed to be a force of nature.
Yep.
He's supposed to be almost supernatural." End quote. I agree.
Yep.
I
hit
agree
the nail
big
on the
time.
Head. Yeah. The one thing that I think you can say positively about all three David Gordon Green Halloweens is that he really gets that.
Yes.
Even Halloween Kills, which I like less than this movie.
I agree. I think okay, so Halloween Resurrection is just sort of dookie garbage poo-poo.
Yeah.
Might be kind of fun if you get drunk and watch it. I don't know. I haven't gone back to it in a while.
I believe the only time I saw that film, I was so wasted that I barely remember it.
That's the bottom of my Halloween list, is that.
Yeah.
Halloween Kills is, in my opinion, almost irredeemable. There's almost nothing about that movie that works.
It blows shit.
Except for the Carpenter score and James Jude Courtney. The gore and the more violent kills, they're sort of, I mean, it's something, but when I'm so disconnected from the story, I'm so detached from everything that's happening, they don't really stand out to me in a memorable way.
And especially when the movie can't fucking decide how it wants you to feel about on-screen violence.
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest problems for me with Halloween Kills, where it's like, I can't even enjoy the gore in this movie because half the time the movie is like, no, you should feel bad about looking at something so terrible. And then the other half the time it's like, oh, let's, delight in practical gore. And I'm like, you can't have both, movie. You can't be like, oh, isn't this so horrible? Don't you feel bad about being witness to this? But then also just like fucking relish showing me a bunch of gory shit. You know? At least this movie is like, gore is fun.
Right.
Yeah.
So above those two movies, I have this.
Yeah.
And I think we're just going to rip the Band-Aid off because we've been dancing around it.
Yeah.
I think this movie fucking sucks. However, there are things to talk about.
Yeah.
There are some things that work. Mm-hmm. It is maybe, I think Halloween Kills is more interesting but worse.
Sure.
I think this is less interesting but better.
Yeah. Yep.
I think I think that the creative decisions in Kills are so inscrutable
Baffling.
and crazy. Like I can't even. They had no idea what they were doing.
Yes. Truly
Here-
seems like every page of that screenplay was written by a different person.
Right. Here, I can see Rob Zombie's vision. I get what he's going for.
Yep.
Absolutely does not work for me.
Yes. It is the cohesive vision of one artist, this movie.
Sort of cohesive, yes.
Somewhat cohesive.
It is a tale of two halves, this movie.
Oh, boy. And the half that I prefer may surprise you.
Which half is that?
The first half.
Okay.
I think the first half is better than when he's just doing the Carpenter movie again, but worse.
I
like Little Michael Myers prequel more than I expected.
okay.
Yeah.
Is that because you can sort of just watch it and be like, oh, this is just the origin of a slasher villain, and then once he puts on the Shatner mask, then you have to be confronted with the fact that it's Michael Myers?
I think it's because it is better suited to Rob Zombie's sensibilities as both a screenwriter and a director.
Okay.
I think the McDonald triad young serial killer thing is more his lane because it's more psychological and more heady. And then I think when we are in suburbia killing teens, he no longer knows what to do. I think he's out of his element. Because again, I think he's a better art house filmmaker than he is a slasher filmmaker. And I think that exploring the fucked up psychology of like a kid who was like born wrong and then like abused into being worse is like more what he is suited for. I feel like the dark, weird, fucked up like psychosexual shit going on with this 10-year-old is like more interesting to Rob Zombie, and therefore he put more effort into making that part of the movie good.
Yes and no. I think it is more interesting to him.
Yeah.
I don't think he sticks the landing with it all. I don't think there's any real like follow through
No, yeah, I agree.
or depth to it.
It's, to be clear, it is still not good.
Yeah.
But I think it is better.
I think what makes that half of them, I don't know that it's better or worse. Actually, you know what? I will agree with you. It's better.
Yeah.
The
first hour's better.
It's something different than what I have seen in every other movie that has Halloween in the title and Michael Myers on the poster so far.
Or, sorry, but like also Jason Voorhees on the poster.
Yeah.
We're also just doing Friday the 13th shit in the second half where he's a ultra strong zombie man.
Yeah. Are we doing way too much of it, and are we ruining the mystique of the character?
Certainly.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It is. It's Zombie trying to make a different but shittier movie, and I just wish he would have done the serial killer kid movie that didn't have Halloween as the title.
I completely agree. Honestly, even if it had to be Michael Myers, I wish the whole movie was a Halloween prequel. I wish that the end of this movie was Michael Myers showing up back in Haddonfield. Mm-hmm. And that the whole movie was just him as a kid, him fucking getting psychoanalyzed by Malcolm McDowell, him killing people in prison. Like, I wish that it was just like only that. And then it's like his prison breaks the end of the movie, and then he shows up at the Myers house at the end wearing the mask, and it's like, boom, credits.
Right.
You know? Like, this would work better as a Halloween prequel. And it would still suck, but it would work better, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Especially because when you get to the second half, Laurie Strode's not a character. The main character of this movie is Michael Myers, and the second main character is Loomis.
Boy, is this the downgrade of the century from Jamie Lee Curtis to Scout Taylor-Compton.
So here's my thing. Here's my take on the acting in this movie.
Yep.
This goes for everyone, including Scout Taylor-Compton.
Yeah.
Everyone is doing a good job.
Yep.
Delivering shit from a butt.
Yes, this screenplay. Okay, here's my real take on this movie. I was going to save this for my verdict, but I think I have to say it now. You know what would be a significantly better movie than either Rob Zombie's Halloween or Halloween Kills? Watching Rob Zombie's Halloween on mute while playing the soundtrack of Halloween Kills. You got yourself a 3-star movie right there. If you watch this movie on mute so you can't hear a fucking thing any of these people are saying, and then you play that banger score that Carpenter did for that David Gordon Green shit-ass middle entry in that trilogy, you got yourself a good Halloween party.
And when we get to Zombies Halloween 2, Scout Taylor-Compton is doing a better job because the Laurie Strode character has an arc in that movie that is interesting and makes sense and is cohesive.
And also,
but here it's just
because she's a mite older.
Right. She's had more experience at that point.
Because the teenagers in this film, who are portraying high school students, very few of them look to me to be older than about 20 years old, which makes it incredibly uncomfortable when they are so much more naked than anyone was in that 70s movie.
Well,
and in that 70s movie, there's like boobs and stuff.
Yeah.
But the high schoolers, you're looking at them and you're like, that's a 30-year-old woman. And Jamie Lee Curtis was quite young in that movie, but notably she is fully clothed the entire time, as is Scout Taylor-Compton. But her friends are like so naked so much of the time. And I'm like, there is a big difference between someone who looks 30 years old playing a high schooler in a 70s movie and taking their tits out, and then me seeing this person where I'm like, this is probably a 19-year-old. And boy, oh boy, can you tell that Harvey Weinstein was involved with this production, is all I'm saying. It feels,
I think there's a story about conflict with them. I don't
some
remember
of
it, though.
this shit,
Fuck, I should have looked that up.
some of this shit truly feels borderline pedophilic to me in this movie.
So Danielle Harris is 30
yeah.
in this.
Oh,
And
okay.
she can pass off as a high schooler.
Which one's that?
That is Annie Brackett. She's playing.
Okay, Annie was less the one I was feeling
Yes,
it on.
she is 30. She was the girl in Halloween 4 through 6.
Yeah. She was less the one I was feeling it on. The other
Who's
one,
the other
Linda.
one? Who's the one playing Linda?
I don't know, but like, I hope this actress was 30 years old.
It doesn't see her. I don't see her birth year.
But
on
it
this.
was
whatever. I don't care.
It was alarming to me how much like a high schooler
Yeah.
she looked. And then it was like, oh, she's taking her shirt off, and I was like, I feel bad as a 33-year-old man watching this.
Director's cut.
Worse.
Director's cut. You see Bush.
Ugh.
That little sliver at the bottom of the screen is cut off in the theatrical cut as she's getting stabbed by Michael.
Yeah.
And you get like the full frontal.
Yeah.
And you get Bush.
We just don't
and a
need
slit.
to be doing that.
Yeah.
We don't need to be doing it. It is making me feel crazy. It was making me feel crazy watching this movie and being like, there is too much sex and violence in this slasher movie.
Yeah.
It goes against everything that I believe.
So
I love boobs and blood.
Yeah.
So much.
So speaking of like,
But not like this. Sorry.
You brought up the PDF word.
Yeah.
Why are these teenage girls talking about fucking their teachers and fucking older men
The thing
so much?
The thing that I think may be one of the worst things about this movie, especially compared to John Carpenter's Halloween, is the way that these fucking 17-year-old girls talk. Because you know what the original Halloween did that was a genius filmmaking decision that goes down as like one of the best slasher writing decisions in history? They had a woman write the fucking dialogue for the teenage girls.
Yeah.
Deborah Hill wrote all of Laurie and her friends' dialogue in that movie. It's a known like thing about that movie that people parrot all the time, right? And it's like, the reason you do that is so that they don't come across as the weird sexual fantasies of a middle-aged man. And like, I like Rob Zombie as a human being, and I am inclined to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But this screenplay seems like it was written by a fucking pedo.
It is, God, it is so pervasive in this movie.
It's disgusting. It is
in multiple
revolting.
ways. In multiple ways. So we have to make Sheri Moon is a stripper.
Yeah. Because Rob Zombie wants everybody to know how hot his wife is.
Right, we get it.
So we gotta have her pole dance a little bit. That I don't mind, because Sheri Moon Zombie in 2007 or whatever, you know, she's in like her 30s, maybe 40s.
Sure, she's a good-looking lady.
Yeah, she looks great. She's a grown woman. Yeah.
So we have to do that. Bill Forsythe has to have sexual fantasies that he expresses openly about his stepdaughter.
Yes. By the way, just, you know, while we're talking about it, I think it's, you know, time for the requisite disgusting shit person news bulletin. We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
And I was watching this movie and I was like, if Bill Forsythe in this movie does not qualify, no one ever has.
sucks that this movie makes me hate a deadbeat dad performance from Bill Forsyth, because under different circumstances,
That would be the
this
best.
would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be so great to have Bill Forsyth, swigging from a bottle of whiskey in front of a TV and being like, "Where's my dinner?
And
fucking blah 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 blah."
He's doing great in this movie.
Yeah.
It is just the things that come out of his mouth are
Transphobic.
horrific. And
Yes.
it is unfathomable the shit this man says.
Yes,
And multiple characters in this movie. Everyone's being homophobic and transphobic in this movie, up and down.
ableist, you name it. If there's an ism, it's happening in this movie. Although, surprisingly, not a lot of racism in this movie.
No, thankfully not.
Yeah. That's
Well, I
kind of
guess-
the one ism that's sort of off the table.
I guess the one black guy in the movie is Ken Faree, and he gets stabbed.
Sure, and he does have an afro and is looking at pornography on the toilet.
Yeah.
And there's just but I feel like that's more that guy's deal.
I think that's just Joe Grizzly, man.
Joe Grizzly.
Rob, do you got a Joe Grizzly movie in you? Give me that. Give me
Honestly,
the adventures of Big Joe Grizzly.
If this movie was a Halloween prequel that was primarily focused on the rivalry between Michael Myers and Joe Grizzly, if Joe Grizzly was like the other lead of this movie, fucking 4.5 stars.
but back to Bill Forsyth.
Yeah, no, he's fucking absolutely repellent in this movie. I like that. I do like that he has a cast on one arm. He's like broken his wrist or something. And then he also has a couple of like fucking taped fingers on the other hand. So whatever the fuck happened to him happened to both arms. Which is just very funny.
I think he probably broke his arm beating those fucking kids.
Yeah, he
smacking his
does
wife around.
tell Michael Myers that he is going to, when his hand heals, he's going to break it again on his face. Which is like, it's just too far. It's not fun anymore. We can have an alcoholic terrorizing his family if he's doing it a little less.
Bill Forsyth is normally pretty recognizable in films.
Yeah.
Even when he's got a bunch of makeup and shit on his face, like in Dick Tracy.
Yeah, this long hair though.
Here, first time, I was thrown off.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't wonder who that guy is. Then I was like, oh, it's Bill Forsyth. Of course it is.
It's because he's not standing
he's got
up
a different
very much.
vibe.
He's not standing up very much, so you can't see that beer belly.
Oh, that's true.
You can't see the little pot belly on him.
He is sitting. I love a good seated performance.
He is sitting. He is lying down. He is reclined in this movie. Yeah, this guy is a fucking huge piece of shit. I don't have much more to say about it, but I figured we had to check the box.
Yeah, I mean, this movie opens with him yelling at his family at the breakfast table.
Yes, he is saying that he's gonna skull fuck Sheri Moon Zombie in front of her children.
He's also talking about cheating on her.
Yes.
With another woman.
Yes,
and uses very it's like just the most insane metaphors and turns of phrase for having sex that you've ever heard in your life.
Very creative, derogatory screenwriting. And then yes, he is of course leering at his stepdaughters, his teenage stepdaughter's ass. And Sheri Moon Zombie's like, pardon me, say that to my face. And he's like, I said she's got a nice ass or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, it's a Rob Zombie picture, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a rough 10, 15 minutes.
It's one of the most unpleasant beginnings to a movie.
To its credit, the movie's bad. I don't think it ever gets to be that bad again.
No.
But the opening of this thing is a rough time.
Yeah.
This is
disgusting shit person.
News bulletin. Yeah, I think Bill was overdue for that. I don't know that we've given him one on previous episodes.
He could have gotten one in Stone Cold, but yeah.
But like extending the weird, like talking more about the sex stuff in this movie.
Yes.
The dialogue from the teenagers is all just
lewd.
Insane.
I would describe it as lewd.
Insane. We make Michael's fixations on his sister very explicit. He basically molests her before he kills her.
Yeah.
He fills her up.
Which, like, that is gross and weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I think is sort of something, kind of.
I think it's less effective than what is implied in the opening sequence of the Carpenter movie.
You're right. Carpenter did do it better.
It's just
where you're just seeing her naked through the eyes of the mask.
and he's just lingering on her for a little bit longer than you'd expect.
You're right.
That implication is a lot more psychologically terrifying.
Yep, and it's
a lot more interesting.
It's more subtle, and it is more. It leaves you as the audience more disturbed because you're like, my brain put that together. So what's fucked up about me?
Yeah.
Versus this movie is like, what a weird little freak.
Right.
Yeah.
There's also something here that extends to all of this movie where it's like Rob Zombie has to let you know how cool he is and all the things that he likes.
Right.
And that's,
he is reminiscent of one Quentin Tarantino in that way.
Right. There's tons of references throughout this movie, but there's also like Linda, the cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
Like she has a Slayer shirt on and her coat over it. And it's like, okay, so Rob Zombie has a high school cheerleader character who's obviously sexualized because she takes her shirt off and has sex in this movie.
Yes,
and the
is
movie lings her
constantly
on
talking about fucking and blowjobs
and
shit.
He has to give her a Slayer shirt. So
Yeah.
it's like it's extending that fantasy even further for me.
Yeah.
And even stuff like, oh, Michael Myers has a Kiss shirt on. It's
Which
like,
is how you know that kid is fucking absolutely irredeemable. You're like, this child is a Kiss fan?
maybe he just really likes Rock and Roll All Night. I liked that song as a kid.
Bad
I
band.
don't really like Kiss these days.
Bad
but
band. Band that sucks.
He just does that. And then
He is also a little juggalo, Michael Myers.
he's got a vibe.
He's a wee juggalo.
He's got a little bit of a juggalo vibe. And then
You give this kid a Faygo?
this kid's going to the gathering.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, whoop, whoop.
Whoop. There we go.
Yeah.
The biggest sin that the director's cut makes is sex related as well.
Yeah.
There are not as many differences to the director's cut and the theatrical cut than I thought.
Yeah.
But the big one is how Michael's escape is carried out. So in the theatrical, we get Bill Moseley. We get introduced to this little group of guards,
Like prison guards, yeah.
and Michael.
By the way, sorry, just to pump the brakes real quick. One of these prison guards in the theatrical cut has truly the most baffling head hair and facial hair combination that I have ever seen. This motherfucker, this guy who plays Larry, who I think is also a Rob Zombie regular, but I don't know the actor. He is bald, fully bald, and then has only mutton chops. He just has the sideburns. And then a goatee that is not connected to the sideburns. So he has shaved his whole head and then grown out his sideburn and then shaved the area between his sideburn and his goatee.
It is a very strange facial hair.
It is fucking so crazy to look at.
I think Brad Dourif's mustache has to be fake. It
His
looks
handlebar
weird.
mustache?
Yeah, it looks fake to me.
Yeah.
But
anyway, back to the horrifying thing that the director's cut does. Yes.
So in the theatrical cut, Michael kills all these security guards in like one of those transfer areas.
Yeah, he kills Bill Moseley way too fast. He basically just like punches him in the neck with a chain, and we see him go down with some blood, and that's it.
So in the unrated, because we were doing that back then, director's cut.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie decides to a replacement for Bill Moseley would be a rape scene. If you want to skip ahead a bit, you should, because I'm going to describe this, and it is horrific.
Yes,
I'm not gonna use great detail, but it is just really bad.
Trigger warning, and skip ahead. A minute and a half or whatever.
So there's the two prison guards. There's Danny Trejo, who's like the nice guy, and then this dickhead. The dickhead redneck brings his friend in, and they introduce a woman who is a patient there. She's in the facility. She is not a character. They take her out of her cell. This is the first time we've seen her. and they take her to Michael Myers' cell to rape her on Michael Myers' bed and then encourage Michael to join in, which he does not. And then Michael kills them all by just like slamming them into walls and shit. Like the kills are not memorable. And
does he kill the lady too?
I don't remember. I don't care to. I don't.
Yeah. Oh man.
End of literal description of this scene.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Rob? What the fuck is this shit?
Horrible. Yeah.
It is so bad.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for it to be in the movie.
There's no reason for that to be in a Halloween movie.
It's like I feel like Rob Zombie is constantly trying to make all of the ways this movie tries to push the envelope, and do something different for Halloween feel cheap and edgy and poorly thought through.
That's really what it is.
By a guy who's like has the mindset of a 12-year-old.
It's like edgelord shit.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like it's so frustrating because 5 years after this, he actually manages to be transgressive and confrontational in a way that works in Lords of Salem. And it's like, the way to do that is not to just like throw in wanton acts of sexual violence to shock your viewership. The way to do that is to like weave it into the narrative and make it feel like you're witnessing something like unholy, you know? It's just like, I don't know, man.
And I don't love The Devil's Rejects. I feel like The Devil's Rejects does this stuff better.
Yeah. There's a scene that's really hard to watch in The Devil's Rejects, but it is hard to watch in a way where you're like, wow, what a well-constructed, hard to watch, horrible set piece.
This is tense and actually shocking as opposed to this where it's just gross and exploitative.
Yeah. In The Devil's Rejects, he gets closer to the Jim Van Bebber thing of like, oh, this is so profoundly upsetting that it sort of becomes transcendent, you know? And it's like, no, like what you're describing just sounds bad and tasteless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
There are not as many differences between the cuts that I could pick up on. One thing I will give to the director's cut a little bit of credit for, there are these like black and white scenes of just Michael as a kid in his paper mache masks against like a wall in the hospital. Yeah. And Malcolm McDowell is narrating those with like his observations. And that gives us, and there's a couple other extra scenes with them, that gives us a little bit of a better arc for Michael's psychological decline.
Right.
I don't think it's enough, but it like, and they're a little cheesy, but it fills out some of those missing pieces a little bit more.
Sure.
What else? What else was really different? There's some other stuff that's like, scenes that have like a longer beginning or a slightly longer ending that are really kind of inconsequential.
Yeah. Just like added yapping or whatever.
Yeah. There's like a few extra seconds with Sid Haig in the graveyard.
Whatever.
But the big change that Rob Zombie made is that rape scene, and it's just like, why?
Boo.
There is an alternate ending on the DVD that's not part of the movie, but it's in the special features.
Yeah.
Where at the end, Michael lets go of Lori and Loomis grabs her, and then the cops shoot him and he falls on the ground dead, and he's actually dead, which
I like the theatrical ending better.
Could be better. I don't know. We don't get Zombies Halloween 2 with that.
Yeah.
But I think the depiction of Michael Myers in this movie is so just like it's a bad take for the character, but it isn't even consistent with his own logic.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like there's a strong motivating factor for how the little kid at the beginning of the movie turns into the silent, hulking slasher villain at the end.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If we're going to be doing all of this, like, McDonald triad stuff with this kid where he's, like, torturing animals and, we got a little serial killer in the making thing, we got to be leaning way more into this.
Yeah.
And, like, that's, like I said, like, if it was just a Halloween prequel, that would be a better movie, because this is the movie. The movie is, this is an evil child. Like, what we have here is, like, we need to talk about Kevin, sort of. And it's like, by equivocating on it and being all wishy-washy and being like, oh, but maybe he's just a little sweet boy whose circumstances are bad, but also maybe he's like an animal torturing, freak who was born wrong. It's like, pick one, And the one you should absolutely not pick is like, oh, he's just a tortured soul, because that sucks shit for Michael Myers. You can't do that. He's the embodiment of evil. That's what he's always been, And so it's like, yeah, if we want to just be like, this one was born bad, and he's just like, he's torturing animals, he's like a weird fucked up little sadist, then just like do that and stop trying to make me empathize with him,
Yeah, and I think part of the problem is it addresses it depicts those things in such a cliched, stereotypical way.
Yeah. Also, by the way, if we're doing the McDonald triad, you have to show me this kid wetting the bed.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's one of the three. Torturing animals, wetting the bed, and lighting fires. And
Okay.
we only ever see him torture animals.
Yeah.
So it's like, this kid should be playing with matches, and he should be pissing his motherfucking pants.
I think the fact that this movie starts with him already torturing animals, already in a terrible home situation, family situation. There's no the fact that he snaps and kills his family is not surprising,
Right.
and not properly built up to. And if you're going to do that, just have him start the movie by killing his family,
Like the Carpenter movie. Did. Yeah.
Like, don't characterize him before it. And I also think him killing the kid from Spy Kids isn't motivated.
That is the kid from Spy Kids.
It is the kid from Spy Kids. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even realize that until you said it.
It's not motivated. It takes away that shock of him killing his family.
It's a little motivated in that that kid was talking about his mom being a stripper and stuff.
But
and
also,
just
like,
saying heinous shit
Sure.
about paying his mom to suck his dick.
that
and
kid
stuff.
had it coming.
Yeah.
I will tell you that much.
Yeah.
There is nothing about the opening of this movie that makes me feel like this is like any different than the average day in this kid's life.
For sure.
And if you're gonna go with one day he just snaps, you need something more dramatic to push him over the edge.
For
I
sure.
think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, we can't play wishy-washy with this sweet little kid who is either he's not aware of the crimes that he committed, or is faking it like a "we need to talk about Kevin" thing.
Yes.
And then,
like, the kid is either evil or he's not.
yeah,
And if he's not, then I have empathy for him because he has some sort of, disease. He is like, there is something wrong with him that is outside of his control.
right.
Right? Or he is a force of elemental evil. And this movie kind of tries to do both things. And he's like, oh, he's a force of elemental evil, but also it's out of his control and you should feel bad for him. And I'm like, no. Like, we're either doing the movie that's a psychological portrait of a psychopath who has something fundamentally broken about them, right? We're either doing Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, where it's like, oh, I kind of feel bad for this guy because he really can't help himself.
Mm-hmm.
There is something wrong about him, Or we are doing Michael Myers from the Carpenter movie, where it's like, this guy is the devil, And it's like, you can't do both. They're incompatible. It's oil and water. You know?
And very much the same way, I think the two halves of this movie, the first half exploring the psychology of the character, and the second half just speed running the beats that you remember from the first Carpenter movie, are completely incompatible stories.
Yeah.
Partially because I think the character in the second half of Michael Myers is so inconsistent with what came before.
Yeah.
Even, it's like, okay, so he goes silent one day, and then years pass and he's jacked all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't get how that happens.
And
I don't know what motivates him to continue killing these random people.
That's really the thing, right? Is because for me, I'm like, the first few kills in his childhood feel motivated.
Right.
Him killing his stepdad, him killing the bully from school, even him killing his sister. It all feel like I'm like, I get where this is coming from. I get that in his weird fucked up brain there is a logic to this. And then like basically when he kills the nurse in the prison, it becomes like, okay, now he's just doing it indiscriminately for no reason. And it's like, if we're going to lean into real world serial killer psychology by like doing the animal torture thing, then it's like, follow through on it, motherfucker. What is this about for him? And the movie becomes disinterested with that question.
Right.
And it's like, no, like you, that was the thing you were doing. And now it's just like, no, he kills people because he's a crazy guy in a mask from a slasher movie. And it's like, didn't you want to do something deeper than that? It seemed like you did.
Right, and like him killing Danny Trejo.
Yeah. I was good to you, Michael.
I mean, I like that kill because
Yeah.
of his performance.
Yeah.
Danny Trejo's performance.
Yeah.
I like that it's a little bit more protracted and brutal.
Yeah.
For the violence that this movie has, I don't think the kills are particularly memorable. That one is.
Yeah, there's a couple of good kills in this movie. I will hand it that. I think him beating the bully to death with that big log, the big stick that he gets, and he just beats the fuck out of that kid, kind of good.
Yeah, and then the kid begging.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But the Danny Trejo kill, I'm conflicted about it because I like the way that it's, depicted on screen. But in terms of the psychology of the character that we've established up to this point, it feels like a decision just made to shock the audience.
Right. It's like, well, now he's evil and he doesn't care. And it's like, but that's not the logic that he was governed by before.
Right, which would be cool if this movie had a consistent logic to the character.
Yes, if he was a little Kevin.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, this guy's he was born wrong. He's just been evil from day one, But like, that's not what you gave us. Anyway, yeah, Trejo though. Love seeing him in this movie. Welcome to the podcast, Danny Trejo.
Is that correct?
I don't know.
Let's look. I think so.
The only thing that I'm like, maybe he was in. Did he do a voice in Rango?
Shit. I don't know. Let's look.
Because that's the only thing where I'm like, maybe he was in that.
Nope. I don't see him. I don't. There's nothing.
Well, welcome to the show,
welcome
Danny
to the
Trejo.
podcast, Danny Trejo.
A guy who I just fucking love.
You know what he's in?
Huh?
Maniac Cop 2.
Oh, shit!
Maniac Cop mentioned. Maniac Cop mentioned.
Man, we're just dusting off all the old stings in this episode. Haven't gotten to use that one in a while. Wow, cool. Well, stay tuned for Maniac Cop 2. Is that Badge of Silence?
No, that's 3.
3. Okay.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah. Well, maybe someday. Yeah, Danny Trejo, just a cool guy. Everybody knows his lore, but it's still so cool that he was just like a guy who lived kind of a rough life,
Right.
And just got picked up as like, hey, this guy looks like he's lived. Let's put him in some movies. And then he like became a movie star because they were just like, this guy looks like he's like, been through the shit.
Right. And I like some of his earlier roles before he became like Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
He became more recognized. Some of his earlier films where his characters reflect that a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's the vibe you get from this character in this movie.
Yep. He even has a line where he's like, hey, Michael, like,
Yeah, I've spent some time behind walls.
Yeah. The only walls that you just have to like live in your mind because
Right.
that's the place where the walls can't confine you. You got to like, they can't wall up your mind or whatever, you know?
I mean, the best thing about this movie is
All the actors.
all
in
the
it.
actors. It's Rob Zombie getting his friends together.
Yeah.
And
Even Malcolm McDowell, who I think is truly sleepwalking through this movie. I think he is dialed way the fuck down in this movie.
I think he's pretty good in this.
Yes.
I think
That's what I was going to say. I think he's still pretty good, even though I think he is not. He's barely awake, but I think he's still pretty good.
I think this movie's actually this duology's take on Loomis is one of the interesting things that sets it apart from the original. Because Loomis is a little bit more explicitly sleazy in this.
Yeah.
And it's implied more, I think, in the director's cut, that part of why Loomis is just kind of old and bitter, like a bitter asshole at the end of this movie, is he just gave up. Like the kind therapist treating the traumatized boy that we see in the first scene of them together, where he's trying to engage with him, that just got sapped away. And now he's old and bitter and trying to make money off of this.
Yeah, Michael Myers killed his soul, which he basically explicitly says in the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And the second movie really leans into that, where it's like Loomis is on a book tour.
I'm excited to watch the second
being a douchebag.
Yeah. But again, comparison is the thief of joy in this movie. Because as much as I think Malcolm McDowell is good in this movie,
you stick him in that trench coat and you're thinking of Donald Pleasance.
You're watching this movie and you're like, God damn, I miss Donald Pleasance so fucking much. Because as much as Malcolm McDowell is doing a good enough job in this movie with a script that, to reiterate, is shit out of a butt, I am watching him and I am just like, Donald Pleasance in Halloween is one of the best performances in a slasher movie of all time. And attempting to replicate it, even with something sort of interesting, is a fool's errand.
Yeah, and you know what? Donald Pleasance shoots Michael Myers 6 times.
6 times!
I shot him 6 times!
6 times!
And he walked away! Malcolm McDowell only gets him 3 times.
Yeah.
Should have put 3 more in him, Malcolm.
Yeah, he's bringing exactly half as much to this movie.
You know what didn't make sense to me is that Laurie picks up the revolver at the end of the movie.
Yes, I'm glad you're mentioning this because it did bother me, even though it is sort of like a CinemaSins plot hole.
She cycles through 3 empty chambers that the revolver should have already cycled through.
Correct.
To fire those 3 shots and then shoots the 4th
shit.
one to shoot him in the head.
Yeah. I guess the yada yada bullshit explanation to that is like, I don't know, they fell out a window, so maybe like the thing got spun or some shit.
Possibly.
But it's stupid.
It's really dumb.
It's bad.
Especially when you've seen Halloween 2 and you know how many shots Loomis shoots.
Yes.
So you start counting.
Yes, you know how many shots Loomis got off in Halloween 2 because he yells it multiple times throughout the movie. He shot him 6 times. Malcolm McDowell, I think, pretty good. Also, the other person where I was like, they're only kind of bringing it in this movie, but I still love seeing him, is Brad Dourif. Where, like, there are moments with Dourif where I'm like, he's not really showing up for this
Dourif
one.
doesn't get a lot to do in this.
No.
I think he gets more in 2.
Oh, he's in 2?
He's in 2.
Good.
I think he has more to do in 2. I don't exactly remember. But, in the first one. In this one, like, his kid gets stabbed. I kind of want more of a reaction of him from that.
But I also think that's just
and
the
he's
writing.
just kind of just like...
The script gives him nothing to use there.
There's less of him palling around with Loomis, which is a really fun dynamic from the first movie.
Yeah.
But that's because this movie tries to do the first movie in less time.
Yeah, right.
Because it's 2 movies crammed into 2 hours.
And one of the best things about that first movie and that dynamic is that Donald Pleasance seems drunk and insane that entire movie. It seems like before they started rolling, he took a big swig out of a hip flask that he then put back in his trench coat. And everybody's like, hey, Dr. Loomis, renowned psychologist, and he's like, what do you want?
Yeah. John Carpenter yelled cut, but Donald Pleasance thought he heard cunt and just kept going.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's especially true of the...
Get your ass away from there.
Get your ass away from there. What is the deal with these movies slavishly reminding us of the names of, the kids and the teenagers of the original movie?
David Gordon Green's movies do this too.
It's way worse than those.
Yeah.
But why does it have to... God.
Everybody who has seen any Halloween movie has to know the name Tommy Doyle.
It's just fucking
required. It doesn't matter which
Paul
one you
Rudd.
watch.
He's Paul Rudd in whatever it is, 6.
Yeah. He's
just,
like the main character of Halloween Kills.
yeah. Like,
It's like grown-up Tommy Doyle.
I was watching this movie when I was watching this movie for the second time
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
I said I was good at the beginning of this.
Yeah,
I
not
don't
so
know.
sure anymore,
I don't know,
are
man.
you?
I've been doing weird. If I'm watching movies like this, something weird must be going on.
Yeah.
I was watching it and I was like, if they just, like, this movie sucks, and it would still suck this way. Just change everyone's fucking name.
Yeah.
This is just a new fucking group of teens.
Yeah.
Scout Taylor-Compton, it can be our heroine, but she's
Right.
not Laurie Strode.
She's like fucking, I don't know, Brittany or something.
Yeah. I would stomach this movie's problems a lot
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. But it's like we are so beholden to the Carpenter of it all. One of the worst scenes of this movie is when Rob Zombie just fully, beat for beat, recreates a kill from the first movie. Because when he's doing his own thing, I'm like, this kind of sucks, but I haven't seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he does the fucking Bob and Linda kill,
Right.
with the sheet, with the glasses and everything, and he's like stabbing Bob and pinning him to the wall and doing the head tilt and stuff, I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Eat shit and
Yeah.
die, movie. Like, I don't want this from you.
Michael's head tilting.
He can't stop his fucking...
It's all over this thing.
This motherfucker's neck is loose
I think
as hell.
I think the
He
director's
can't stop
cut
tilting that head.
adds more head tilting. I think he head tilts during the escape sequence when he has the pumpkin mask on.
Yeah.
Then before he kills Bob. I think that comes first.
You know what?
But I mean, it was a good moment in that first movie, and then every other Halloween movie has to do it again.
Just if we could get one Halloween movie where he doesn't do the head tilt, I think that would be good.
I'd be happy. Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't do it. Don't do it one time.
Also, hey, you know what? Why do we have to play Don't Fear the Reaper twice? Why do we have to show The Thing from Another World twice?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
We get it, Rob. You saw the original Halloween movie.
I would have expected you to, considering you are remaking it. Yeah. It's annoying. I believe because Sheri Moon Zombie is watching The Thing from Another World when she blows her brains out. Isn't that?
No.
Oh,
It's,
she's watching it at a different time.
it's
on at...
Yeah, Forsyth and little
right.
baby Michael are watching
Right,
it.
that's right.
Before he kills him.
What is she watching when she blows her brains out?
She's watching, I think, just footage of
it's
home
family
videos,
movies, right?
yeah.
On her fucking 35mm projector that she has, set up in her living room or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Because this stripper in this rundown house also has a fucking sick ass home movie setup. Yeah. I do like the scene where she kills herself, though. I thought that one was pretty effective.
It's one of those where it's a character I don't care about killing themselves in a movie,
Right, yeah.
so I'm sort of entertained by it.
I like that we zoom in on the home movies and then you just hear the bang.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually the only jump scare in the movie that was even a little effective to me.
Oh God,
Because I knew that gunshot was coming, but I didn't know when. And then it happened and I was like, I jumped a little.
I know we've been bragging on this movie, deservedly. One of the worst things about this movie is that it is not scary, and it is also not fun.
Huge indictment against this movie is that it is not scary. Because you know what the OG Halloween 78 is incredibly fucking tense. That movie is so tense. Basically, from the first time that you see Laurie see Michael Myers through a window, and she's like, hey, I think a guy's following me, to the end of that movie, you're always on the lookout being like, where the fuck is he? What is he doing? And you're waiting for him to pop up. And when he shows up, you're like, God damn it, there he is again, And he seems to move around by some supernatural force. He is like places where you don't expect him to be.
Right, he does the slasher thing where he teleports.
Yes. And in this movie, because you are with him while he's traveling, it immediately deflates all of the tension. And a movie that does this in a really cool deconstructed way is In a Violent Nature, where it's like, oh, you're with him the whole time and it's cool and good because of that. But it's that movie's not really tense either. It's some other more interesting thing. This movie is like a bad version of that, where it's like you're following him around the whole time, so you always know where he is and what he's doing. And so the movie has no tension, but also the movie still tries to trick you into being scared sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, even
it's just not, it doesn't work.
At the end of the movie, when they fake out, was that really the boogeyman? I do believe it was. You know that he's going to, burst through the glass of the police car.
Yeah.
You know that Rob Zombie's going to do that to try to subvert your expectations. And it just feels like doing that after that line, which hearing that line again is another just smack in the face, obvious reference to the original movie that is done worse.
It's so
sucks.
much. It's so much worse too, because instead of the original exchange, which is Laurie Strode says it was the boogeyman, and Donald Pleasance as Loomis says, as a matter of fact, it was. In this movie, it has to be, was that the boogeyman? Why, yes, I do believe indeed it was. Or something. They add like a bunch of extra
make
fucking
him too
words.
British.
And it's just like, shut the fuck up.
So the movie does that, and then it's like, oh, fuck, groaning, you're rolling your eyes. And then it's like, okay, I guess they have to subvert it now.
Right. And we have to repeat the fucking thing from the first movie where he breaks through a window and grabs somebody, which he does in the prison escape in the first movie. And it's like, oh, we haven't called back that moment yet in this movie. So now we're doing it at the end instead of at the beginning. Wow.
I feel like he's breaking through windows in this. He's breaking through stuff a lot in this.
Yeah. Much like last week's episode on Assault on Precinct 13. Somebody watched a John Carpenter movie and was like, hey, for my remake, I think I'm going to break a lot more glass. Nobody rolls a car in this movie, though. I thought we might be 3 for 3 on Carpenter remakes adding vehicle rollovers.
You know what? They mentioned Ben Tramer. I don't think Ben Tramer's in Halloween 2. I don't remember.
A shame.
But
I would love to see Rob Zombie recreate the greatest vehicular
Can
manslaughter ever committed to screen.
Whoever's gonna fucking reboot Halloween, if you're gonna give us a reference, can we fucking light up Ben Tramer again and run him the fuck over?
I can't remember if we've talked about this on pod or off pod, but I think an actual good idea for a Halloween Legacy sequel is the Ben Tramer becomes the slasher, like he's the new boogeyman.
I think we've talked about this actually.
Because the cops fucking vehicular, you think they kill him, right? They sandwich him between 2 cop cars and he goes up in a ball of flame, but he survives, right? And then it's like, then he becomes the new Michael Myers, and he like puts on his burnt William Shatner mask and like goes out and kills a bunch of cops. Yeah. That's, I think, the actual good Halloween movie that you could make.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think also we could do, I think Halloween Ends is good.
Yeah.
Strange to consider that there are probably people out there who think Halloween Ends is worse than this movie.
Yeah. Those people are Philistines.
But I think the Halloween Ends concept was done pretty well in that movie.
Yeah.
I still think it has untapped potential, and we could do commit to that harder.
Just like a little fucking Michael Myers protege. Yeah, he's just like passing on his evil essence to a new generation.
Yeah. Or we don't make more Halloween movies.
We could also do that. That would be a thing.
I'd love that.
So far, we're not doing it, but it hasn't been that long since the last one, so.
Yeah. Or do the anthology thing again, which we talked about.
Yeah, they're not going to do that, though. They're fucking addicted to this William Shatner mask. Lumbering fuck.
It's so fucking stupid that
I know what
somehow, after murdering his family, this child buried the Shatner mask and the kitchen knife under the floorboards.
Yeah.
And then fucking 20 years later or whatever, he comes back to his now ruined house and digs them up under the floorboards, and they're sitting there.
Number one, that knife is not sharp anymore.
No.
Period. And then he's like using it to like slit people's throats later, and I'm like, did motherfucker find a knife block somewhere?
Yeah,
like, did he find a fucking whetstone?
Tetanus.
Yeah.
These people, if I don't know, tetanus joke. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're gonna get lockjaw before you get your throat slit.
But no, that's stupid. It's also fucking just dirt stupid that we introduced the William Shatner mask because Judith Myers' boyfriend puts it on mid-coitus and is like, I want to fuck you in this weird mask. I was like, shut the fuck up. Eat shit.
Yeah, that sucks. How does he get the mask in the first one? Does he just have it?
They, I believe, are like just selling them at stores.
Okay.
Or no, maybe I'm conflating this with Ghostface.
No, Ghostface. In Scream,
they talk about how it's it
is being sold at stores. You don't see him buying it.
I think he just gets it because it's Halloween.
Okay.
So he just goes to a store and steals a mask.
Is there a scene where we see that though?
No.
Okay.
I think it's basically he escapes from the asylum and we never see his face, but he's not wearing the mask. And then the next time we see him, he has put on a Halloween mask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the later sequels.
We always make such a big fucking deal about him getting the mask.
It's always a big deal of him getting the mask back.
And it's like, no, he just like wants to conceal his identity.
Yeah, I think this, and I mean the stuff about him making masks in this movie.
That I actually kind of like.
I like it.
I like it.
I like that he's he's got the pumpkin mask on.
Also, the way some of these masks look, I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't like the one with the red nose that he's wearing when in the scene where he kills the
nurse.
The nurse.
Mm-hmm.
That one looks a little bit too clown-like, and I'm like, we're trying a little too hard.
Yeah.
But the one that he's wearing, or no, it is the one in that scene, the orange one in that scene.
Yeah.
The clown one's in a different scene. But the one he's wearing in that scene, I'm like, that looks pretty good. And I think that's like a proto-pumpkin mask, and then he's wearing the more finished one later as a grown-up.
Yeah.
But I'm like, those look pretty good. The papier-mâché masks, I'm like, these are kind of creepy, and I like the look.
Right.
You know?
It's an interesting thing in this movie that I would like to see explored further.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do the psychological exploration of Michael Myers.
Yeah. I will say that 10-year-old Michael Myers wearing the full-sized William Shatner mask does look unintentionally
It's quite funny
hilarious.
to see that giant mask atop his little tiny body.
It's sort of the inverse of David Byrne wearing the big suit. It's like a tiny person wearing a huge head.
Yeah, I guess
it's very funny.
It looks like a GoldenEye character when you turn on
Yeah.
big head mode.
Is he on big head mode? Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Anything else about this?
Fuck indeed. Oh boy, there is probably something else I have to say. I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch. It's so funny that he's looking at a porno magazine while he's taking a big taco shit on that toilet. And then he just gets the fuck beaten out of him by Michael Myers. We already said it, but best scene in the movie.
Yeah, you've never looked at porn while you're shitting?
Of course I have.
Okay.
What do you think I am? I'm no better than a man.
There is something about flipping through the magazine, though, while doing that. That's a little rough.
Yeah, the magazine while shitting. It's for some reason, when it's on a phone, it feels a little bit more like disconnected from the act.
Yeah.
When you're holding paper and you're about to wipe your ass with... Which, by the way, he does not wipe his ass. Joe Grizzly gets up after taking a big taco shit to fight Michael Myers. And then dies with his pants around his ankles with a poopy asshole.
But do we have poop noises? Has he shit at this point?
I think it's implied that he has been shitting.
Okay.
Perhaps.
He's just in like a lull.
Yeah.
A lull.
I think he's between movements.
Okay.
You know, as one is.
Yeah.
Occasionally. On the John.
That's me basically every morning.
You get the initial...
Good 30 minutes.
Right. You get the urgent stuff out. It's like, I gotta get this out of me or I'm gonna fucking explode. You get all that out, and then you're like, I'm going to sit here for a little bit because I know that something else is going to get dislodged. So let me look at some naked chicks. Maybe rub one out. That'll loosen some stuff up. What else? Yeah, do I have to say about this? Laurie's parents getting killed should be cool, and instead it's lame.
Yeah.
And it's just like... That was really the moment of this movie where I was like, more violence and more kills is not necessarily how to make your slasher movie better. Because this movie has a higher body count than the Carpenter movie. But like, so every kill in that original movie feels like it has so much weight to it. And in this movie, it's just like, whatever, man.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
These are just bodies.
Yeah.
To feed to the slasher villain. And
yeah.
They're not, I don't think the kills are particularly memorable.
And it feels like we're supposed to like Laurie's parents because they have banter, but the banter is bad.
The banter's bad, and their relationship is underdeveloped because you only get 5 minutes with them. Yeah, part of we were talking before about which half is better. I think the second half is worse for me because by the time we get to the climax, I'm just bored and thinking of the movie that I could be watching instead.
Yeah. When Michael Myers is hitting the ceiling with that fucking beam for what feels like 12 uninterrupted minutes.
Eternity.
And I'm just like, end this fucking movie already. You know why the closet scene at the end of the original Halloween is so effective? It's because it's contained. It's small, right? We're in tight quarters. It's tense. It's because the movie has sort of been leading up to this moment. It feels climactic, right? But also, it is a home invader cornering you in the place where you should feel the most safe, which is in a suburban home. And this movie somehow completely fucks that up by having Michael Myers chase Laurie Strode through a scary, abandoned, haunted house. It's like you fucking totally missed the point of what was scary about the first Halloween.
It's so visually bland. You don't get a sense of the geography of the house.
What
and
is
the way
scary
things are
about
laid
the
out
first Halloween
so,
is this could happen in your house.
Yeah.
What if a crazy guy with a knife just showed up in your house? And it's like, oh, I know how I would avoid the situation of Rob Zombie's Halloween. I would simply not be related to a fucking serial killer and then go to my fucking evil haunted childhood home.
Yeah. I will say a positive thing before we get out of here.
Right.
I was shitting on the head tilt earlier.
Yeah.
One thing that this movie does that is similar to the head tilt, but is actually good, I think, is when Annie's. I think it's Annie's boyfriend that he strings up off screen and puts the pumpkin on.
Yes.
And pushes him, and he swings back and forth a bit. I
believe.
No, Bob.
No, Paul.
Paul. Yeah.
Bob's the guy with the glasses.
I think he does the head tilt again, but the pushing the body, that's an interesting thing.
I like it.
That's pretty good.
I like it. I'm going to say something positive too.
Yeah.
In that scene where young Michael Myers, 10-year-old Michael Myers, kills that nurse with the fork, I think that scene is legitimately quite good.
I think it's okay.
They cut out all of the dialogue, and it you see people's mouths moving. This happens at a couple points in the movie, and I think every time it happens, it's a good choice. Where it's like we don't hear what people are saying, we just kind of see them mouthing, and Sheri Moon is really screaming it up. And I think that's one of her better scenes in the movie is when she's just horrified by what her son has done, and you don't really see what he did to her. It's mostly left off screen and you just see her bloodied hand. And then my favorite moment of that scene is Sheri Moon runs up to him and tears the mask off his face. And I think this child actor does a pretty good unsettling performance here, where it's kind of this stylized slow motion sequence, and he's like growling and baring his teeth, and he seems feral and something has been unleashed in him. And it's this is what I wish more of the movie was.
Yeah.
Which is hey, this kid has been bottling this up and putting on a performance of normality, when inside there is this elemental, ferocious evil that is now coming out, and he's it's harder for him to contain, And I think that is the scene in this movie that really accomplishes what Rob Zombie is setting out to do in this movie. And it happens once in that scene, and then the rest of the movie kind of fails.
Yeah. The kid's good.
The kid is good.
The kid's really good.
It's crazy that the kid is good. You know what? Even the kids who play Tommy Doyle and the other...
the kids that are getting babysat?
They're good. It's crazy that this movie has good kid performances and still sucks.
And they're trying to do banter with them and the teens.
And the problem is not the kids' performances. The problem is the fucking writing.
It's the writing. Yeah. Everyone in this movie is good.
Yeah.
They're just
Even Scout Taylor-Compton, who I did sort of besmirch earlier, but it's because she's not Jamie Lee and nobody is Jamie Lee.
Right.
And also her voice sounds to me like she inhaled a little bit of helium before she started speaking. She just has a weird high voice that jars my ear.
Justice
Yes, David.
is Rob Zombie's Halloween from 2007, the greatest movie ever made.
Oh, certainly not. It is most certainly not that. It is more enjoyable to watch than Halloween Kills. I think you were dead on when you said it's less interesting but better than that movie. Because it's like, this movie is like, it's a slasher made by a guy who shouldn't be making slashers, man. He's just clearly not that interested in it. Even if he thinks he is, you know? It's like watching this movie, I can't help but be like, your heart's not in this. I've seen where your heart is. And it's in the weird psychedelic boner sequence in Lords of Salem, you know? Like, you want to, you know, show me fucking priests jacking off red dildos while they're engulfed by hellfire
fucking
and like Jesus' face melting and stuff.
Dr. Satan and House of a Thousand Corpses. And Rainn Wilson gets turned into a fish.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. You want to be doing weird shit.
Yeah.
And instead, you are trying to pay homage to a guy who makes fundamentally different movies than you are good at making. And it's a fool's errand. John Carpenter is a filmmaker who makes visceral, immediate, grounded. Even when his stuff isn't grounded, it feels so real. Like, even the absurdity of Big Trouble in Little China feels contained and immediate and real, you know? And it's like, what Rob Zombie's good at just isn't that. He's good at heady stuff. He's good at experimental stuff. He should stop trying to make human stories because he's better at cosmic shit, you know? And yeah, it's bad. It's not good. The script is really bad. It smacks of misogyny. It feels borderline pedophilic at times. And I sort of want to give Rob Zombie a pass on that because he seems like a really decent guy. But boy, oh boy, should someone else have taken many passes at this before we got these great actors saying these dog shit lines. And like, it doesn't even look bad is kind of the problem to me.
I think one of the things about this movie is that Rob Zombie is a competent filmmaker in that he knows where to put the camera. He knows how to edit between things.
Just someone else write
and
it.
It's mostly like well lit and looks pretty good.
Yeah. That was sort of the baffling thing is I expected this movie to look ugly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even look ugly. It looks actually kind of good. And that's why I was like, yeah, put this on mute and play the Halloween Kills soundtrack and you'll have a better movie. You'll have a 3-star movie on your hands if you do that. But yeah, having to hear these good actors say this fucking horrendous, transphobic, homophobic, hideous, disgusting dialogue for 2 hours is pretty insufferable. So like, man, there's like so much stuff that I almost liked about this movie too. Like McDonald triad origin of a slasher killer is like an interesting idea if you just fucking commit to it. But like, it's too beholden to the film it's trying to remake. And it would be better if it wasn't a Halloween movie, and it would be better if it was a Halloween prequel, and it would be better if it was almost anything other than what it is. And what it is just a failed effort, and it's not good. And no, it's bad. David, is Halloween 2007 the greatest movie ever made?
I mean, yes, of course. It has Joe Grizzly in it.
I do love Joe Grizzly.
No, this movie sucks dick.
Yeah.
It is just one of the worst Halloween movies. One of the worst horror remakes, I think. I don't think it is devoid of merit. I think there are ideas here and there. I think Zombie is a competent filmmaker in the technical sense of filmmaking.
Yeah. Which just makes it so frustrating.
Yeah. And I think all the performances here are good, but the writing sucks, and his vision of the character is fundamentally flawed and misguided, and he cannot even stick to his own internal logic, which results in a movie that is overlong, wildly disjointed, and undercuts itself at every given turn with the new ideas it has, with the things it's trying to rehash from Carpenter, with all of the overdone, egregious fan service references and shit. It's just like, it's pretty tough to sit through.
And you would know. You did it twice.
I did it twice. I don't think the second time was markedly worse. I think the second time I was just like, yeah, I know what I'm in for, and I'm just sort of feeling the same degree of bad about it.
Yeah.
I also checked out at the end because there was something something I forgot to do, so I was on my phone for the third act. But that's
the
okay.
perfect moment to be on your phone.
The end of the movie is the opening of this movie really sucks, but the end of this movie is so boring. The final chase is so boring in this fucking movie.
Oh man, how you execute a slasher chase with absolutely zero tension is beyond me.
I don't know. Sean S. Cunningham did it in Friday the 13th.
That's true.
There is precedent.
Hey, do you think this movie or the OG Friday the 13th is worse?
Oh, this is worse.
Yeah, me too.
I think Friday the 13th as a bad movie that has some charm to it.
Yeah.
I think this is just bad.
Yeah.
I think my dislike of this movie is way more of an active emotion.
Which movie do you think is more boring?
More boring. That is a tough one.
I kind of think this movie is worse but less boring.
Yeah, maybe.
Because OG Friday the 13th, I'm just like, this shit's putting me to sleep.
Friday is pretty consistently boring. I think this one becomes boring.
Yes. It's like engaging for about an hour.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, now I'm bored.
Oh, yeah. And then
there's an hour left.
We cut to, as soon as Laurie Strode appears on screen, then it's like, all right, now we're in the movie that I would rather be watching.
You know what I forgot to say? I'm sorry to interrupt your verdict.
That's okay.
I forgot to say this, and I truly think it is one of the most astute observations that High Priestess Pod has ever made about a movie that we've watched on this podcast. She was watching 3.5 minutes of this movie at a time when she walked through the living room, and I just was watching it. She said, and it was specifically about Laurie Strode and her friends talking on the sidewalk. In that scene that in the original, it's a copy of the original movie where the dialogue's written by Deborah Hill, and it's very good, and you're getting to know the characters and getting endeared to them. And in this movie, they're making a bunch of lewd jokes about older men, right? And High Priestess Pod said, this sounds like the dialogue from the beginning of a porno. She was basically like, it sounds like this is the writing at the top of a porno before they all take their clothes off and start fucking each other. And I was like, you are so right. It is crazy how so much of the dialogue in this movie sounds like people are about to start having unsimulated sex.
Yeah. This movie sucks. At the same time, it's kind of, with all of its bizarre contradictions and its new ideas and also its utter lack of ideas, it sort of becomes just another bad Halloween movie to fucking throw on the pile. Yeah. Whereas something like Kills or Resurrection have just huge wild swings that go nowhere.
Yeah. And Ends has huge wild swings that go somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I think, but I also just think Kills is fucking, anyway. I hate Kills.
It's so
I don't know.
bad.
I still,
That movie's so bad.
Kills sucks, man. Sorry, it's late and I'm losing track of things. One thing I will say is this movie is the price of admission that you pay to watch Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Which I am excited for.
Which is a divisive film. Some people think it is one of his best movies. Some people think it's actually worse than this one. I'm somewhere in the middle. I do think it is better than this movie, and Rob Zombie's ideas for the Laurie Strode character, for the Michael Myers character, for how to depict slasher movie violence and the structure and the themes of slasher movies as a whole, they come across as way more cohesive and way more thought out than they do in this movie.
Yeah. Probably mostly because he's not trying to remake a great movie.
Yeah.
He's just doing his own thing.
And there are references to the to the Halloween franchise in that movie and the original second movie. But I feel like Zombie handles it much better and navigates it a lot better. I haven't seen it in a few years since I talked about it on the podcast really early on, I think. I also haven't seen the director's cut of that. But if for some reason you've watched this fucking movie and you have not seen the second one, I think the second one is worth a shot just to see what you think of it. I think it's a more competent movie. I don't think it's great. I don't even think it's really that good. But most of the Halloween movies aren't very good. And at least this one is somewhere in the middle. But Rob Zombie's original Halloween from 2007 is certainly not the greatest movie ever made. I think it is quite bad.
Yep.
And next week we're going to watch the Thing remake. Speaking of movies that are quite bad, I don't know. I haven't seen it. Maybe it's good. I am terrified because this movie's reputation is notorious.
Yes, it will be interesting because I think now we basically know what the best movie of Carpenter Copycats is going to be, even though neither of us have seen next week's movie. It's probably already The Assault on Precinct 13 remake.
Yeah.
It is going to be interesting to see what the worst is. Because it's like, The Fog was bad, this was bad. We'll see how bad The Thing is.
Yeah, and The Thing will be the case of it's actually supposed to be tied to the original John Carpenter film. It exists in the same continuity. It is a prequel.
Right. But also sort of a remake because they're basically just doing the same thing again.
It's right. It's hitting the same beats.
The same thing being The Thing.
The Thing. It's probably gonna...
It's from another world, that thing.
Yep, it's probably gonna eat some guys and turn into them.
Yeah.
And
I would assume so. Maybe some dogs, too.
Teeth are gonna
Probably
pop
turn
out of
into a
weird
dog.
places.
Yeah. There'll be
There'll
tentacles.
And a bunch of people in the Arctic are gonna be paranoid.
There better be a fucking head crab. There's no head crab, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be a lot of janky-ass CGI.
Yep, that's what I've heard.
So join us next week for The Thing from 2011.
Dare Thing.
In the meantime, please rate and review and subscribe to the show. And follow us on Instagram at TGMM_podcast and send us an email at thegreatestmoviepodcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
Let us know if there's a movie you'd like us to review, because after Carpenter Copycats, we're gonna have to pick some new shit to talk about.
That's right.
And watch a movie that's better than this one.
Certainly.
And
you would almost have to.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be hard not to.
Yeah.
And give someone a hug.
That's right.
Until next week, we love you so much. And as always, later, dipshits!
We hope you enjoyed this episode of The Greatest Movie Ever Made. Please remember to leave us a rating and a review, and to subscribe to the show wherever you listen. We appreciate you supporting the show and spreading the word. Tell your friends to listen, tell your enemies to listen, tell your mom to listen. If your neighbor has an unsecured Bluetooth speaker, connect to it and play an episode. You can follow us on social media at TGMEM_podcast. And if you've got a movie that you want us to talk about, send us an email at thegreatestmoviepodcast@gmail.com.